Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do a basic two-color brioche beanie. And when I say basic, it's because we're just going to work the body of the hat in brioche. So the brim of it will be in the main color, and it'll be a 1x1 ribbing. Then we'll work a two-color brioche for the height of the body of the hat. And then we'll close it up again with using the main color, using a standard decrease. Let's go ahead and get started. You're going to choose your colors, your main color and your contrasting color. Now here I just have Karen Simply Soft. It's something I had on my shelf and I thought it would be some pretty colors to use for this particular beanie. Now this one is, let's see if I can find the colorway on it. Robin's Egg. And this one is Orchid. So those are some pretty cool colors. I'm going to start off with the Robin's Egg as my main color. And then I'm going to use this Orchid as my contrasting color. It's so pretty and so shiny. But the suggested needle size is a 5. I'm using a 5.5 for the brim and the main part of the beanie. And when I get into decreasing, as I start decreasing, I have these 5mm flex DPNs, and all that means is it's flex in the center. It bends, where DPNs are usually straight and stiff. These are flex. A stitch marker. You'll need a pair of scissors and a darning needle to sew in your ends when you are done. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with a standard cast on of 80 stitches. 80 stitches is what I generally cast on for an adult beanie when I am knitting. Now, you may find that you need a different amount, but you need to cast on in multiples of 2 to be able to complete the brioche pattern. And we're going to do a 1x1 ribbing. All right, so I will be using a long tail cast on method to create my cast on. You can cast on however you so choose. And if you need help with that portion and getting to this point of knitting, I have all kinds of beginner videos and different stitches that you can use to get to this point. So I'm going to move a little bit faster with this video. I did put out a basic Two Color Brioche ear warmer where I went really slow and really went over your different brioche stitches. I'll go slow on the first part of that. I'm going to go ahead and cast on my 80 stitches and I'll be back, show you how to do the 1x1 ribbing, and then you'll do that for approximately 2 inches. You could do 1.5 inches, you could do more than 2 inches. My personal preference is about 2 inches. Once you have your 80 stitches, we're going to start our 1x1 ribbing. And now your first round might be a little bit tight and difficult to get moving. And once you get to the second round, it will become very easy. So the first thing you want to do is place your stitch marker to indicate the beginning and end of your round. And then we're going to knit the first stitch and purl the second stitch. Now I'm a continental knitter, so I hold my yarn, my working yarn, in my left hand. Now let's do that again. We're going to knit 1 and purl 1. And you're going to continue to do that all the way around for as many rounds as you need to create that nice brim of 1.5 inches, 2 inches, or maybe even more. Completely up to you. I'm going to go ahead and work on mine. I will be back when I have reached the height that I desire. All right, once you have your brim done, now I did 3 inches this time just because I felt like doing 3 inches this time. We're going to begin our bark round, which is the brioche knit round, which is in the main color. So we're going to start by bringing our yarn to the front, slipping as if to purl our next stitch, yarn over and knit the next stitch, and repeat. Slip as if to purl, yarn over and knit the next stitch. So we're gonna slip as if to purl, yarn over into the back, and knit the next stitch. Yarn to the front, slip as if to purl, yarn to the back, and knit the next stitch. And you're going to do that all the way around, and when you come back around to your stitch marker, I'll meet up with you and we will join in for our purl round, our brioche purl round, which would be burp round. Once you've reached the end, you slip your stitch marker as always, and we're going to join our contrasting color. Now I'm just going to hold it to the back over here and bring the yarn to the front. Now our first stitch here is the slip and the yarn over. And that is your brioche purl. You're gonna purl those two together. So we're gonna purl those two together. Then we're gonna slip as if to purl our next stitch and bring the yarn around for a yarn over and purl your next, the brioche purl. So your yarn over and the stitch, which is actually the slip stitch from the knit row. Okay, so we're gonna do that again. Let me slide some stitches up here. I'm gonna keep the yarn to the front because this is a burp round. It is a brioche purl round. So we're going to slip as if to purl our next stitch, bring the yarn around the needle and back to the front for a yarn over, and we're gonna purl the next stitch, the brioche purl stitch, which is the yarn over and the slip stitch from the row before. Okay, let's do that one more time together. Bring that yarn to the front, slip the next stitch as if to purl, yarn over, and purl your next stitch, the yarn over and the slip stitch. And you will do that all the way around. When you get to the end, I'll meet up with you and show you what to do next. So when you come down to the end, we have one last stitch, and that is your slip stitch and yarn over. Gonna yarn over and bring your contrasting yarn to the front. It always stays to the front, and that way you will know that that is your purl round, and your contrasting color always stays to the back. So now we're going to work our bark round, and it goes just as such. We're going to bring our yarn to the front, slip as if to purl, yarn over to the back, and knit the next 2 strands, which is your brioche knit stitch. So yarn to the front, slip the next stitch as if to purl, yarn over to the back, and knit the brioche knit. One more time. Bring the yarn to the front, slip as if to purl, yarn over to the back for a yarn over, and knit your next stitch, your brioche knit. And you're going to repeat that all the way around. When we come up to the end, I will show you how to work your next burp round, and then you will have it all on your own to finish the body of the hat, and then we'll come back together and work the decrease rounds. When you get down here to the end, your last stitch will be a brioche knit, and make sure that you're catching that last yarn over from your brioche purl round. Just like that. Slip your stitch marker and drop your main color, pick up your contrasting color to begin our purl round. All right, the first stitch is the burp stitch, the brioche purl. Then slip as if to purl and yarn over, bringing that yarn back around to the front to brioche purl your next stitch. Like that. Okay. We're going to do this again. Bring your yarn to the front, slip as if to purl, yarn over and around the needle, and brioche purl your next stitch. Slip as if to purl, yarn over, and purl your next stitch. Those brioche purls and brioche knit stitches are always the same. It is 1 strand of contrasting and 1 strand of main color. So slip as if to purl and brioche purl the next stitch. Just do a couple more with you. Gonna slip as if to purl, yarn over, and brioche purl the next stitch. All right, so that is your brioche purl round and brioche knit round. Go ahead and work the body of your hat to the desired height before you start the decreasing rounds for the crown. Me personally, I like to do a good 6 inches, 4 to 6 inches roughly in the height of the hat before I start decreasing for the crown. And it just all depends on what I'm going for, but generally I try to get around 6 inches total from the bottom to the top. So I hope that you're able to follow along, and we will get to the decreasing section soon. Once you have the brioche section, the body of the beanie to the height that you desire, we can start working towards decreasing the crown. So at this point, we can cut away from our contrasting color and put that on the inside now. so that way we can start our decreasing rounds. The first decreasing round is just going to be a round of knitting, and what we're going to be doing is doing a brioche knit and knitting those stitches that we would normally slip. So let's go ahead and start working on that. So the first one is the brioche knit. So those two strands together, and then knit the one that you would normally slip. Knit those two together and then knit that one. And you're just going to work all the way around doing that, and what that's going to do is bring us back to our original amount of stitches. All right, so at this point, this is where I add in every 10 stitches a stitch marker. And that just makes it easy for the decreases. It makes it kind of mindless as you're working in the round. So you just know that 2 stitches before your stitch marker is when you decrease. And all of the decreasing rows, or rounds should I say, will be down in the description box. So I just go 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, and I'll do that all the way around, placing a stitch marker. And you can do that on the knitted round that you just did, but it's easier once it's all back down to the original amount of stitches. So I'm just going to go around and place my stitch markers all the way around, and we'll begin. All right, so to start with, the first section is going to be knit 8, knit 2 together. Then you knit around, then you knit 7, knit 2 together. Then you knit around. And we'll do that all the way down until we are knit 5, knit 2 together. Then you knit around. At that point, we will work knit 4, knit 2 together, knit 3, knit 2 together, knit 2, knit 2 together, knit 1, knit 2 together, and then we will cut away and slip all the stitches off and draw it up and sew in our ends. So as I said, this will be down in the description box as to how to do your decreasing rounds. Very simple, just decrease every other round until you're down to knit 5, knit 2 together, and then you decrease every round until you are down to knit 1, knit 2 together. And then you just sew up the top. So just real quick, we'll do the first one just to kind of give you a idea here. So we're going to knit to 2 before our stitch marker, each stitch marker. So that's knit 8 stitches. And this is why I do the stitch markers, because then I know on my decrease round, I'm just knitting over to 2 before, and I don't have to count. And then we do a knit 2 together to decrease. And then repeat that all the way around. Then you'll knit the next round. Then you'll knit to 2 before your stitch marker, knit 2 together, and repeat all the way around. And continue to do that until we get to the end, where we just simply sew it up at the very top. All right, so that is it for the tutorial on how to do this brioche beanie. As I said, it's a very basic, simple, we're just brioche for the body of it. We're doing a basic brim 1 by 1, and then a basic decrease for the top of the crown part of the beanie. And I hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that it's helpful in the beginning stages of brioche. The next time we visit brioche, we will actually do a brioche beanie where we decrease all the way in brioche, all the way to the top of the beanie. So we'll start carrying this brioche up and decreasing as we go. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. And if you make this, I would love to see it. You can share it in the Facebook group or send it to me in a private email. Irregardless of where you share it, please tag me so that way I can see your work. All right, everyone, be blessed, be a blessing, and until next time, bye for now.